Hey guys, that time is upon us. It is summer movie season. One of my favorite times of the year. This is usually the part where you get just a lot of just fun, popcorn-filled movies, just kind of back to back to back to back. Around this time of year, me and a bunch of friends actually get together and we typically make a prediction of our top 10 in terms of grossing films that we're going to get by the end of the year. So the terms are always from any movie opening in May to opening through August. That counts as kind of the summer movie season. We usually put some money down on it. It's a lot of fun. So either way, this kind of kicks off the summer. So it's always exciting when this time rolls around. And today I'm just going to talk about what was my number one most anticipated movie of 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Obviously, the first one was a smash hit, a surprise smash hit. It's directed by James Gunn. It kind of came out of nowhere when you consider his line of movies leading up to this one. I remembered seeing Slither when I was a little bit younger. It's a horror film. It's not even like a big action film. And he kind of has a quirky sense to himself in how he directs his films. It's always got this kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of just funny kind of humor to him. And you really see that in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and you see that tenfold in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Just bottom line on this movie, yes, it's outstanding. I actually enjoyed it more than the first one. I was a little bit surprised, actually, as I was in the middle of watching it, and then even when it kind of concluded, why people seem to be drawn more to the first one over the second one. Maybe the first one had maybe it was just because it was new, it was something different, and that's why it stuck out to people. But the second one sticks out to me because it digs deeper into the characters, and it is way funnier than I even expected it to be. I remember laughing at the first one. I don't remember laughing this much, this loudly in a movie. So this not only is a great action film, but it is an actually really good comedy. So yeah, this is just a great space adventure from start to finish. Yes, there are some elements of it that are kind of a bummer, but I get why it happened. In the first Guardians of the Galaxy, you're kind of introduced to these characters, you're given an idea of where they come from, how they meet, how they kind of gel together. You get the great banter kind of back and forth in the first one. The second one wants to go ahead and take that, what you already know, what's already built here, and then dig deeper into the individual characters. And I think the best way to do that is to kind of split people up onto kind of individual tracks and paths. Trying to delve into individual characters while keeping them as a congealed group is going to be just as jarring. It's because one of the main complaints coming out of this was there's a portion of the film when the characters are all kind of separated. I'm personally okay with it because of what it was trying to accomplish. I get where it was taking it, and I bought into it and was sold on it almost instantly. The movie wants to try and tug at your heartstrings, especially towards the end. It really wants you to feel and invest in these characters even deeper than I think you did in the first film. And with that, I think it accomplishes that. So yes, you do lose the element of kind of the group banter for a large chunk of the film, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I really don't think it hurt the movie enough. The characters are likable enough that I'm okay with it. And then learning the deeper elements of those characters, what makes them tick, what makes them operate, I think is essential for the series moving on. It needs to have those kind of elements. So one of the other main complaints that you get in a Marvel film is Marvel doesn't get villains. DC gets the villains. Marvel doesn't understand them. They don't know how to keep them, and they don't. I mean, look through the Avenger films. Loki sticks out as a character that everybody loves, and he kind of hangs around through a lot of the Thor and Avenger films. But outside of that, the list is pretty dull. It's usually characters that are there and then gone. They don't really have kind of a continuation to them. This movie has villains, I should say. I don't want to give too much away to it because it really does play into the greater arc of the story if you haven't seen the movie. So I don't want to give too much away, but this, I would say, is one of the better accomplishments on the villain side of things. And you kind of almost have to understand what the story is trying to say about each one of these characters to really understand something about the villain. It's a little bit more deep. It's not as surface level as a normal standard villain would be. There are a little bit deeper elements to it. And there are kind of multiple people at play here. It isn't just one. It's kind of a little bit of everything going on. But yeah, that is kind of how I feel about it. It's not necessarily a groundbreaking villain. I don't think it's going to be something as anything like iconic like a DC villain like the Joker. It's not going to be anything like that. But I do think this again kind of accomplishes on the villain side overall. I think that arc really works out for it. Let's talk Baby Groot here. Baby Groot is adorable. Baby Groot brings plenty of laughs to the table, but I do kind of miss the regular adult Groot. I thought maybe this movie would develop and eventually get to the adult Groot, but you really don't ever get to that point. You're always kind of stuck with Baby Groot. But ultimately, I think it is kind of, again, showing you a little bit more depth in characters, having Baby Groot a part of the team, and them all having a connection to something that's super innocent and can't really help himself. And yeah, it's cute and it's got plenty of laughs built into it, but ultimately I do kind of miss just regular sized Groot in there. But yeah, ultimately I think it's great. I'm going to see the movie again because I enjoyed it that much.